Welcome to Derek Does. Today, we're doing this. This is a series I did on baking. I did this a couple years ago and I just hated to waste it. And I thought I'd throw it up here on Derek Does because I do a lot of stuff. Now this particular one is this, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. Hi everybody, welcome to Baking with Derek. I'm Derek and today I'm gonna show you how to make hamburger buns. Come on. Going to begin with about 3/4 cup of warm water. You want your temperature about 105 to 110 in that range. Then we're going to add 8 grams of yeast. Remember, when your yeast, just sprinkle it on. You don't want it lumpy. And normally on our bread we wouldn't use any sweetener with it, but we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of sugar. Now I'm going to give this a little bit of a stir just to get all that sugar and the yeast working together. We're going to let this sit about 5 minutes. So while the yeast is getting ready, we're going to do the flour now. 60 grams of whole wheat flour. And then 360 grams of all-purpose. Perfect. Now we've already weighed out our salt, but we need 8 grams of salt. And as usual, mix that together while they're dry. It also requires 1/4 cup of sugar. Now we've done 1/4 cup here, but we've taken our 1 teaspoon out that we used originally for the yeast. So it's just 1 teaspoon short. Stir that. Now to our dry ingredients that we have here, we're going to now add our yeast, we're going to add 1 egg, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of softened room temperature butter. So make sure you do this before you begin, at least an hour or so. Here's our egg. And here's our yeast, which you can see is quite ready. We're going to put this on our mixer. Use your dough hook. And mix for 5. It's a very soft dough. So what you'll probably need to do is scrape down the sides actually a little bit. Make sure you turn off your mixer when you do this so you don't get your fingers stuck in this. Alright, 5 minutes are up. We're going to do the remainder of this by hand. I'm not going to put any flour down because it's still really a thick dough. It's almost like a biscuit type dough. So what we're going to do, we're just going to hand knead this a little bit. Now because it has the whole wheat in it, it's a little gritty. You can actually feel the whole wheat. Now if you don't like whole wheat, you could always just skip the whole wheat and just use all-purpose flour for the entire piece. And then we're going to put it right back into our bowl and cover with some plastic wrap for about an hour, or until it's doubled. Alright, it's been about an hour and the dough's pretty much doubled in size. I'm actually gonna have hamburgers later today, so I kind of want to get this going. So let's take a look. So here's our dough. As you can see, it's kind of risen. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it out, kind of deflate it a little bit, and we're gonna cut it into 8 equal pieces. And for that, I'm gonna use my handy dandy scale. This way I know it's perfectly done. You'll notice this dough is very different than a typical bread dough. So we're gonna want about 89 grams for each little piece of dough here. And what I'll do is I'll cut it roughly into that shape. Now what we're gonna do with the dough is very similar to what we do when we made the Hawaiian rolls. Basically, we're gonna fold it in on itself, forming a ball. And then we're gonna roll it a little bit, back and forth. Basically that bottom always stays at the bottom of the countertop, but you're making it that. So we're just gonna do that 6 more times. Now what we're gonna do now that we have these 8, I'm actually using a big baking pan with some parchment paper. We're gonna put these, line them up on the parchment paper and let them rise for their second rise. Now lay them out. And we're actually gonna do a pattern like that. This way you get all 8 on the pan. And then here's where it's different. We're gonna actually flatten these down to about a 3-inch disc. Because we want them to be hamburger buns. Now these are going to poof up, and because we don't want stuff to stick to them, we're going to put plastic wrap on it, but we're not going to do it tight. It's just going to be on top. It's just going to lay it on top. All right, there we go. So we're just going to let this sit for about an hour. Let it rise. All right, an hour has passed. Look at those, huh? Look like hamburger buns, almost. So what we're gonna do, we preset the oven for 375. We're gonna pop these in. We're gonna cook for about 13 minutes. Now at the 13-minute mark, we're gonna do an egg wash on each of the buns very lightly. And then we're gonna also put the sesame seeds on it. Pop it back in, so it's like about an 18-minute total cook time. So let's pop these in. And as always, I have a pan of water in the oven to give it steam. So here's our egg wash, which is just 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of water whisked together. Okay, I'm gonna pull them out of the oven and get the egg wash on. Now the sesame seeds. And now back in the oven for another 5 minutes. Take them out. I always get that burst of steam in my face. Look at those. So we made hamburger buns. Now you want to let these cool so you can open them up and just slice them with a knife. If you like this video, subscribe, and we're gonna have a lot more baking and a lot more fun. So I'll see you next time.